Hello, so today I want to talk about the inner critic and the inner judge because so many times these parts of ourselves get the best of us, right? And I want to give you a tool that really helps me, and I am hoping that it will help you too to get the inner critic and the inner judge on your side working for you instead of against you. So hold on, this is going to be good. First of all, we all have these inner archetypes, these different aspects of ourselves that represent, like I said, archetypes, right? So we have the critic, the judge, the princess or prince or mother or father or whatever. All these aspects to ourselves are inside of us. And normally all these aspects work with us and for us for our best interest, right? But sometimes they don't. And I'm going to help to give you a tool to get the inner critic and the inner judge on your side working for you instead of against you. What happens is that the inner critic or the inner judge decides that apparently we are not doing a good enough job with those particular roles in our life, right? So whether we are not being judgmental enough for our benefit about something, or we're not criticizing things in an appropriate way for our benefit. So the inner critic or the inner judge says, well, you're not doing a good enough job, so we need to take over and start doing a better job for you. Now, they may not have the best idea on what is good for you either, right? And you can sense and feel that. And so what you want to do is create a place where you and the judge and the critic can have a conversation. Now, I guess this sounds a little weird, but this is something that's done regularly in hypnotherapy. So I am just giving you this tool to try to do this on your own, which you can definitely do. All right. So we are going to create something that's called a conference room or an inner conference room. All right. And what you want to do is you want to get into a meditative space. So you want to get into a relaxed environment. You don't want to be disturbed by anyone or anything. Use earplugs if you want. Rest and lay down and get into that kind of hypnagogic state. That's the state where you're kind of in between awake and asleep, all right? Because this is where you can really access your subconscious mind. Then you want to call out the aspects of yourself that you want to talk to, all right? So you call out that critic and that judge, and you start a conversation with them. Now, I know, again, this sounds a little strange, but it is totally doable. So you are in this relaxed state. You create in your mind's eye a boardroom or a conference room, so to speak, and you ask that the critic part of yourself and the judging part of yourself come into this space to discuss all the things that are going on. And you ask these parts of yourself, why do you think that I am not doing a good enough job doing your role? Okay, why do you think that you need to come and take over? And oftentimes they will say something like, well, we don't feel like you are managing this situation very well, or we feel like you could have handled this better, or maybe you're not stepping up for your rights or your needs, or things like that. So you're getting into that conversation with these parts of yourself. And invariably, they will tell you what they feel to be true. And at this point, you can have this dialogue or conversation conversation with them and let them know that you are going to handle things differently. And clearly, they are going to want to know what your choices are. So explain to them, I am going to make this choice differently. If you feel that I am not standing up for my boundaries, or if I am not stating the things that I need to say to people or whatever, then I will do these things. You're basically creating a negotiation, right? So you're negotiating with these aspects of yourself to demonstrate that you are going to stand up and take charge and do those roles more appropriately. Okay. Now that they feel like you are going to do a better job about this, you are going to want to give them a job to do, right? Because those aspects of yourself aren't going to want to just sit around and do nothing, right? So you're going to want to think of appropriate jobs for your judge and critic. So what do you want your judge and critic to do? Okay, so of course you're going to want to think of this ahead of time before you get into this state, but think about what you would want a healthy judge and a healthy critic to do, right? That they would help to create healthy boundaries for you and let you know when maybe your boundaries are being crossed, or when you need to be more criticizing about things, that they could gently remind you that maybe, hey, this is that point when you could be better about X, Y, and Z. So you give them more constructive and healthy jobs. All right. So now they feel like, okay, you're going to make better choices and you're going to do those jobs better than you were before. And now they feel better because they have constructive jobs that they can do, right? You see how this all works? Then you make the agreement that this is going to continue. Now, you also need to make the agreement of, well, what happens if you are not holding up your end of the deal, right? What happens then? So make that kind of agreement too. Once you do that, everybody's happy, right? Then you can close the boardroom and close the conversation, and hopefully everybody goes back to their respective healthy jobs within you. So I hope this makes sense. This is an amazing technique, and it is something that you can do on your own. All right. Once you are finished with that conversation within yourself, then you can either wake yourself back up fully into a conscious state, or you can just go take a nap. Either way, doesn't really matter. You've done the job that you needed to do. Anyway, I hope that this makes sense to you. I hope that you have enjoyed it. If you have any questions, do please put them down below. I am happy to help you in any way that I can. Anyway, I really hope that this video has helped you. If it has, I would love it if you would like and subscribe. You are also welcome to share this video or any of my videos if you think that they might help somebody else. Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful day, and thank you so very much for watching.